Hello everybody, this is Kelly at Envy Soapworks. I am going to be making a batch of soap today, scented in a fragrance I have not tried. I think it's one of the newer ones from Wholesale Supplies Plus. This one is called Coconut Water and Pineapple. It smells really lovely. I love like pina colada type fragrances. The last one I made had just like I think 1 or 2% vanillin, and it turned it so dark and just brought all my colors down. They just looked terrible. And it faded out of the soap. It was really a disappointing fragrance oil. So I haven't done a coconut pineapple scent in a while. This one is a dupe for a Bath & Body Works fragrance. The scent description online says this is a mouthwatering blend of pineapple, coconut, goji berry on an irresistible background of sugarcane, tonic, and sheer musk. And then it says that this is comparable to the Bath & Body Works Fresh Seaside Breeze fragrance, which I haven't smelled, but this one smells really good, and it's not just a basic coconut pineapple. There's something else in the background that just adds like a really nice twist to it. So I'm hoping that this one is not gonna fade out like the last one that I tried that was kind of like a pina colada type scent. So what I'm gonna do, let me show you my colors here. First I have a very bright yellow. This is a mix of a neon yellow and sunflower yellow from Micah's and More. Then I have Luster Blue. This is one of my favorite blues from them. It's just a really pretty kind of medium blue. And then here I have Apple Green, very beautiful kind of limey color green. Then here I have Tahitian Teal. This one is from Mad Oils. And then I'm going to use just a touch of this very beautiful kind of bronze. This is a bronze mica that I got so long ago from Wholesale Supplies Plus. It's my favorite bronze. It's so bright and fiery, and it stays just like that in the soap. It actually shows up like that very intense sparkle. So I do like that one a lot. Now what I plan on doing for my pour, I've kind of been thinking of something new, a new way of pouring, just to try to see what it's going to be like. It's kind of a spin on your classic in the pot swirl. What I'm going to try to do is do, I don't know, like four or five different mini in the pot swirls in my little cups here, and pour in my tall and skinny molds just like drop swirls of different color combination in the pot swirls, mini in the pot swirls. Hopefully you can see a difference between each one, because I'm going to try to use different combinations of these colors with lots of white. So I'm hoping it'll give like a subtle kind of like patchwork of like different in the pot swirls, if that makes sense. I hope that description made sense, but that is what I'm going to attempt to do. I think it could actually be really cool if it works out, you know, the way I'm envisioning. So we will just have to give it a try. Oh, I forgot my lye solution. Let me grab that. Alright, got it. So okay, so this is my favorite recipe. I am soaping at room temperature. I am going to get my lye solution poured in and then add my coconut milk as I get this emulsified. My recipe contains olive, palm, coconut, avocado oil, babassu oil, shea butter, castor oil, and then I'm kind of super fatting or adding the additional oil as like a free-floating oil. It's black seed oil, and I added it. That's what I mixed my colorants with. I don't take the oil out of my batch to mix my colors. I just use a good oil to kind of be like the free-floating kind of super fat. It's additional. So I got a little bit of black seed oil. I'm trying it out because I've heard that it has really awesome properties in it that are really good and beneficial for your skin. So I want to see if it really makes a difference. So I'm testing that out, and I'm going to go ahead and get this emulsified. Okay, so I got my batter all nice and emulsified, and what I'm going to do, since I'm going to need my cups to do an in-the-pot swirl, and I don't have enough to use them to mix each individual color and then have enough left over to do a pour, or to do my in-the-pot swirl, what I'm going to do is initially mix my colors up in these little plastic cups. I used to use these all the time to mix my colors when I was very first, soaping, starting to soap, but I don't like throwing away so much plastic. It's just so much waste. So even though it was really convenient to just throw away the cups when I was done, it was a lot less cleanup. I just don't care to do that anymore. That's why I got the other cups. But just for today, just because just for the design thing, I'm going to go ahead and use these today. And I can wash these out and reuse them, so I will probably do that for the next time that I need extra mixing cups. Who knows, maybe I'll really like this technique and I'll want to do it again. Okay, so I have the soap mixed up. This little string. My yellow turned out a lot more neon than I had intended, and my soap is actually getting really thick. It's pretty gloppy already, and I haven't even added my fragrance oil yet. But you know what, I don't mind, because I'm going to be doing, like I said, little mini in the pot swirls, so if it's a little thick, it really doesn't matter. We will see how this color combo turns out. Like I said, my yellow is a bit neon, so we'll see. Now, I'm hoping maybe this will help thin out my batter just a little bit. Sometimes that happens. We'll see. I'm hoping it behaves nice. Oh, it sure does smell good. Wow. Ooh, this is nice. It's very interesting. It has something really interesting behind the pineapple and the coconut. It's really nice. So hopefully that is going to be something that stays in the soap, in the cured soap. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this mixed up. You know, it actually looks like it is thinning it out a little bit. So I'm going to continue getting this poured off. Alright, so we're kind of back to the same thickness that I was. It initially kind of thinned it out, but now they're right back to being a little bit gloppy. Still totally workable. I'm not stressing out about it. It smells fantastic. I really like the way that this one is smelling. It's a lot different than straight out of the bottle. So I think I'm going to do 4 in the pot swirls to start with. Let's see. I left myself a whole lot of white, so I have that to work with. So what I'm going to do is get a little white in here. And I think for this one, I'm going to do a little blue. And a little green. Okay, and then I will get my next one set up. So again, with the white base. And for this one, I think I'm going to do some teal. And a little bit of the bronze. I'm trying to pour high up because it's awfully thick. It didn't really go down all that far, so this one, and I added too much white, so I need to get better at this. Okay, so now here we go with more white. Alright, so I'm going to start with this, and then I have plenty of stuff to kind of make more little things. Let me move this out of the way. Get my little mold over here. So what I'm going to do is do a little swirl around, little swirl around, swirl around. This one has way too much in it, so maybe I'll just kind of pour the first half of it and then add more color to the bottom. I think that is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I have my little mini in the pots here, and I'm going to go ahead and start with this green and yellow one. Ooh, that's really pretty. Let me make sure you guys can see. Okay. And then I will follow that up with this one. Follow that one up with this one. I think this is going to be pretty cool. So I'm just going to alternate, you know, the different styles, the different colors. That one has a lot of brown in it. Not loving that. Let me go in with, kind of break that up with some of the other colors. This one needs some blue. Okay, you guys, so what I'm finding is that with having so many little individual in the pot, little, individual little cups with a swirl inside, I didn't take into account, or I didn't take into consideration that when you come to the end of your big in the pot swirl, you have to scrape out all of that soap, because there's a whole lot of soap, and when you scrape it out, it gets a little bit muddied up. Normally it's just a little amount, so it doesn't really, it's not really that big of a deal. But when I have to scrape out each individual cup, it's ruining a lot of the swirl. So I don't really know how this is gonna turn out, if it is gonna be cool or what. It might surprise me, but I'm kind of thinking that this was not so much of a good idea, just because I'm ending up mixing so much of the colors, just way too much to really give the effect that I was going for. So what I'm going to do now with the solid colors that I have left is do just one final in the pot swirl with what I have here, and try to get a good layer of colors that aren't all muddied up, and hopefully like I said, just get a good layer there of pretty soap. We'll see. Lot of scraping to do with these little cups over here. I'm going to end up making little samples. So what I'm going to do here is just do a quick little run through, and then I'm just going to kind of get it evenly laid across the top. I do think the colors are pretty. I just don't, this just isn't really what I had envisioned. It's rare for things to turn out exactly how you think they're going to, especially when you're dealing with soap. Alright, so I'm going to bang this down a little bit, and then with just the little scrapings that I have left, I will do something with the top here. It feels really weird not to be doing a hanger swirl after I've used my tall and skinny mold. I usually do. Okay, so I didn't save anything for the top. I wasn't thinking about that. I think I was so concerned about messing this soap up completely. So I didn't really leave myself much to work with on the top. I'm just going to scrape what I can out and try to get something, to run a skewer through, hopefully to look a little interesting. Alright, you guys, so I painstakingly scraped and scraped little pieces of color that I had, but really there wasn't enough to make anything worthwhile on the top. So I don't think that this is going to turn out all that great as far as tops go. But, you know, whatever. So I'm just going to do the best that I can. It is now gotten a little bit hard. So, oh, I also added some mica drizzle to this. So I'm just going to try to run through what little color I have and kind of dig in and get that texture. Also, it's pretty thick, so it's not wanting to lay down real nice. It's pretty gloppy. So I think that is the best that I'm going to get for this little soap here on the top. It's not looking all that great, but you know what? It could be worse. Let me zoom in. So that's what it's looking like. It's not terrible. It's pretty textured, and you can still see a good mix of the colors. So who knows? You know what? This one might really surprise me on the inside, and I might end up absolutely loving it. We will just have to find out tomorrow, and we'll find out together. I will bring you guys back when I'm ready to cut into this. See you then. Alright everybody, here we are back with the coconut water and pineapple soap. This one was a very interesting experience yesterday. I was very iffy about the pour of it. I really messed up on the top by not saving myself any soap to decorate, but it actually turned out pretty cool on the top. I like the way that it turned out. And also you can see the pattern here on the side is amazing. So that kind of gives me high hopes for some neat pattern on the inside. So you never know, this one might not be a flop after all. Make sure you guys can see. Alright, let's get started and do the first cut. I am crossing my fingers that this is going to be awesome. Ooh, that is pretty neat. Oh, I like it. Smells interesting. I don't know how I feel about this one. I can smell the pineapple finally. But let's see what else we have as far as pattern goes. I like the first cut a lot. Ooh, I like how there's that little corner of brown. When I first poured my first little in the pot swirl cup, there was so much brown. It just filled up the whole bottom corner, and I did not like that at all. But really, it's not showing up as much. I thought it was going to be like half a bar would be brown, but that's not too bad. That's a pretty in the pot swirl. Now I think my little idea that I was testing out, I think it was, you know, unnecessary to do all those different cups. This looks just like a regular in the pot swirl to me. But you know, it's fun to try new things. And ooh, that's a pretty one. That's neat down there. I don't know. I like the way that this turned out, but I don't know that I would attempt to do so many little in the pot swirl cups again. Ooh, this one's a really neat one. I don't see variation, like too much variation. I can't tell which pour was which. So this one really just looks like a good in the pot swirl. I do like the way that it turned out though. I think it's really pretty. I don't do many of these kind of soaps, so it's nice to have such a different look for one of my soaps. You know what? This fragrance is, it's so different. It's kind of hard for me to explain it, but it is really nice. It's almost like a warm pineapple, if that makes any sense. It's kind of hard to explain. But it's like, if I had to describe it, I would describe it as like warm beach, kind of like warm sand and a pineapple scent mixed together. So it's kind of nice. Alright, there's another one. I do like this color combination. I think that's neat. That little bit of brown, I thought I was really going to regret it, but I think it has its place in the soap and it looks really nice. So I am really happy with this. So that's good. You never know when you're going to try out something new if you're going to have a complete flop and regret it, and then be stuck with, you know, 10 bars of soap that you never want to sell or use. But yeah, so this one I am actually really pleased with. Like I said, as far as my little design idea, I probably won't do it like that again. But as far as in the pot swirls go, this is really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching, and your comments are awesome. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!